another. What you cooking, man?
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's happening?
Where is Mr. Trey?
Am I still muted? No, right?
Nope. Well, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the third rendition of Iron Minds. As Mr. Trey Griggs has abandoned us as we've gone live. Hope everyone's doing fantastic. But let's get right into it. I got a hat. It's chilly. I'm down here in Austin. I got to throw on. I know Trey lives in the St. Louis area. I got my textbook Balloons hat ready to rock. I'm going to start my outdoor walk. Wherever you guys are tuning in, if you are active, maybe you're just waking up. Either way, if you're awake, maybe come for a walk with me. But today we got Mr. Klingensmith in the garage, getting some TRX strap, and then we got a special guest this morning. What's going on, Pedro?
What's crack-a-lackin', homie? Thanks for the invite, brosif.
Yeah, introduce yourself to the Iron Minds.
Pedro Potato here. Freight broker by trade, content creator just because it's fun. And, just out here this lovely morning in Texas. It's a crisp 39 degrees. And, just going to knock out some activity with you, lovely gentlemen.
Well, yeah,
Nice,
man. It's good to have you. And Nick, what are you getting into this morning?
Well, we already walked the dogs for about a half hour, did my warm-up range of motion drills, and now we're doing some run strength and core strength. I'm actually doing a routine from a book over there called Running Rewired for old jerk-offs like me whose body has become imbalanced and broken and beaten in the last 40 years, and we're trying to get shit running straight again.
Yeah, I'm feeling you on that. And I think I'm starting to feel that as well. Like I've basically recovered. I've gotten back to normal with some running, but my right hip, like the right side of my hip, I'm pretty sure it's my glute medius is a little lagging. And I need to go back to basics, doing some core work, side planks, foam roller, all that good noise.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically where I've been at, too, is trying to pick up more miles. I always end up doing something where I sign up for some event and I convince myself I'm going to focus on the strength training and doing everything right. And then suddenly the miles start to add up and I'm like, well, I don't have time for this. And I just need to log the miles. And then it ends up being just one big adventure of trying not to get injured, convincing myself that I'll do it right next time. So here we are, trying to do it right this time.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah, doing it right, doing the right things, the little things. And this is where it counts. And this is to anybody out there. I just had a lot of friends participate in the High Rocks Dallas race. For those who don't know, High Rocks is a competitive. I wouldn't call it an obstacle course. It's not as.
It's a fitness competition.
Yeah, it's a fitness competition with running and also like very injury preventative movements, like using a rower, using a ski erg, some wall balls. And I had a lot of friends do that, and they made it perfectly clear. Every single one of them made it perfectly clear that on top of the strength and conditioning, the most important thing is the mobility work. And that is the most important thing too, by the way, that I emphasize to tie this in I gave a presentation to Hayes County bus drivers about things they can do in their seat to improve their core strength, because and it also just improving their overall mobility, because that is important too. Just getting in, just adding 5 to 10 minutes of stretching into your routine, into your daily life, can be life changing.
I mean, what you saw me do last time even was just my regular, the first 15, 20 minutes of my day are just range of motion drills. And whether I'm competing for something or not, like, that's how I don't feel all day the way that I felt when I get out of bed in the morning, and you got to get that blood flowing and figure at this age in particular, most of us get out of bed just to sit our asses back down again, and then we compound the issues. And every once in a while, one of us wants to get out there and do something athletic. And then we go and add either strength to dysfunction or intensity to dysfunction. And we end up getting hurt, convincing ourselves that we're not supposed to do physical activity when we get older, when it's the exact opposite, right?
Good point. Valid points. So, gentlemen, let's get right into the holiday mindset. I have a few words I wanted to share regarding the holiday. But what do you guys got going on this week, Pedro? What do you got for Thanksgiving?
Oh, brother, we just do the same thing every year, man. My family comes up here, comes up and down to my house, and we just chill out, man. We watch movies, eat food, drink beer, and the latter two this year, I've got to do, in what's the level, Lombard? What's the word, Lombard? Smaller amounts. I don't know. I can't think of the word I wanted, but that's it, man. Just, normal stuff I think like anyone does for Thanksgiving.
I'm digging it. What about you, Nick? What do you got going on?
Well, you'll appreciate this because you know where I'm from. And I'm from where you're from. And where I'm from, Thanksgiving is a week long. And so we're going up over to my mother-in-law's house for dinner. But, I've got at least a week's worth of turkey gobbler sandwiches I fully expect to indulge in after the fact. And I try to hibernate on Thanksgiving. I like feeling like I'm on school break up in New England and, just it's cold outside or something. I'll get up and do a run in the morning. I don't do a turkey trot because I hate waking up 3 hours before a run just to walk behind a bunch of strollers. And so I'm going to get up and do a workout. And then after that, man, it is food and laziness.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, Thanksgiving every year growing up was always a lot of fun. I was a turkey trot guy one year. I was an avid. So where I'm from, I live outside of what's called the Naugatuck River Valley, which is also commonly known as the Valley in Connecticut. And the day before Thanksgiving is known as Valley New Year, and it is absolutely, it's reckless. It's very textbook. People go out. It's the Letterman jacket crowd. Glory dazing. Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those, and it gets absolutely bonkers wherever you're at. But yeah, I don't do that anymore. I've got to work on Thanksgiving morning, so I got a coach, or I would be a turkey trot guy. But wanted to highlight, and then in the past few years since I've moved to Texas, my wife and I have hosted a bunch of our friends who they don't go home this month. They go home for Christmas. But one thing I wanted to mention that you guys brought up is the whole food aspect. A lot of people get caught up in like worrying about the food or holidays, and in fact, when it comes to starting a fitness journey, I started in November 6 years ago. Right before the holidays, that's when I started going right back to the gym. A lot of people use the holidays as a reason to neglect it or be like, I guess I'll just wait till after the holidays. But if you think about it, today's Tuesday, you have Tuesday. Like if you wanted to start today, you can hang out Tuesday, Wednesday, enjoy your Thanksgiving, do everything you're going to do, go as normal, having that mentality of, oh, I ate this, I need to burn this. That's not, that's moving backwards. Holidays are.
This punishment and reward system that people get in their head, because I'll tell you something, this is where it gets tricky. And I'll even say for me, something I used to do on my long run days is I used to love to get Dairy Queen. And don't get me wrong, I still love Dairy Queen, but I don't look at it as a reward anymore. I'm like, why did I do all this wonderful stuff to my body just to go punish myself with sugar after?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that said, like, I agree with you about Thanksgiving. I like to pig out, but I will get, you know, I'll have a piece of pie. I'll have one piece of pie. And that'll probably be the only piece of pie I have throughout the week. You know, like you start to, I don't know. I eat a lot and then I make better choices throughout the week. But at the same time, even if that's day one for exercising, there's nothing in the rule book that says you can't go on a 30-minute walk on Thanksgiving.
That's also true too. Getting the movement in early. That's kind of what I coach people to, like whether it's on the road, like especially when it comes to weekends, like get your movement in early, get your protein goal in early, like get a lot of protein in early because you don't know what you're doing later on. Maybe you're not linking up for Thanksgiving until 2 in the afternoon. You know, get up 30 minutes earlier. Do what we're doing right now. Just get this in. Just get a little bit of that in. You can do both in the overall long scheme of weight loss or whatever it is people are doing. The body response to consistency.
Yep.
It's about stacking daily and weekly and monthly wins. Look at that.
Oh,
Trey
what's the
Mark.
comment? What's the comment? I can't see. I got my phone on here.
Yeah. Trey said that him and Mark Manera, they're going on a nice hike on Thanksgiving morning.
Nice. I like it.
That's what we're talking
I don't
about.
know if I'd want to be with Trey by myself in a wooded area with no witnesses.
In the middle of Missouri.
I'm just saying.
Let bodies go
In the middle of
disappear
Missouri.
back
Exactly.
there. We can
Scott,
start
what's going
holiday
on,
walks with
brother?
double brokers. The two go in, one comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So
what's,
Nick, man, I'm actually rereading your book right now, man. Started it. What did I do? I started it Sunday, and I'm just doing Lombard's thing of 10 pages a day. That's kind of like my thing. I don't know. I think that's a good, easy thing to do. But I really just finished. I think it's chapter 4 or 5, where you were talking about all your range of movements and stretches and stuff. Are you still doing those same exact things right now that you talk about in that book?
Some have probably tweaked and evolved depending on what I've learned or what I've injured. But other than that, yeah. You know, my routine is, except for Sunday mornings, my routine is the same every day. Get up, coffee, say a few prayers, meditate and box breathe for 5 minutes, and then I immediately move into the range of motion warm-ups, which are about 20 minutes. And then depending on the day, I also might add another 10 minutes of sort of activation and strength exercises. And then at the end of the run, my cool down stretch is it's like basically 22 minutes of just passive yoga holds. And so I'll tell you, as injury prone as I am, that's the reason I don't get injured more, is just that 20 minutes in the morning and the stretching at night. Like that's, I think, why most of the injuries I get are just sort of nagging injuries, not, you know, I would tear a lot more things if I didn't focus so much on my mobility.
Yeah, I was reading that, man, and I think I'm gonna find me a stretching not system, guys. It's really more for my brain to be trying to work. Stretching regimen,
Program.
I guess you could say, program. There you go, and
I'll
implement
tell you
that
what, man,
after my
you got a
workouts.
trainer on the call right here, but if not, YouTube is your friend.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm not going to YouTube. I'm going to text Nick or Lombard. Why would I go to YouTube when I have YouTube? That's a waste.
That's a good slogan. Why go to YouTube when I got YouTube? Good morning, Chris.
Yeah.
Good morning, Chris Thomas out there checking in. Chris, another one who's back on the horn. He's been taking accountability of some of the stuff he likes to, of the food he's been eating lately. And again, accountability is your biggest. Going to be your biggest weapon in how you stay winning. You know, I can't reiterate enough. I want, like, people, holidays are meant to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
But come Friday morning, just get right back to your routine. Like, yeah, you might have leftovers. Take accountability of the leftovers. Like, what are you eating? Are you making a sandwich? What take the 5 extra seconds and scale it out. Take the 10 extra seconds and use the barcode scanner. Figure out how much you're actually putting in your body. Enjoy the holiday and then move on. And
Yeah,
then you
because
get
one day a year picking out is not going to mess you up. But if you don't start making those adjustments after, then again, it's that accountability and consistency. I mean, people throw that word around a lot, but the more consistent you do something, the more consistent you see the rewards from it. And consistency gets you back on track the easiest. That's why Thursday is not even going to be a blip for me.
it's just like it's the same as what you do at work. It's the same as what you do even in competition. Like if you train for a marathon, there's a lot of blues after you do like a big race. Like, because once you've done the race, or say it's a big project at work, like you've just you spent a lot of time working on one thing, there's been a lot of energy that goes into it, and then once you've either presented it or you've executed it, it's over. From there, what a lot of times happens, especially in the racing world, or especially, and that's why I don't necessarily like goals. Like, some people have target weights they want to get to. Well, what happens when you reach that target? Like, people just stop. Like, the moment, like, you've built up this momentum, and then it stops. That's like when you set. Sometimes goal setting is good. Like, okay, but they need to be realistic. Like, there's an acronym for that, like goals being SMART, which is like sustainable, manageable,
simple, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm on master class last month.
You know that acronym, and it's like, it's good to have goals, but sometimes goals, just like projects at work, it's almost you're setting limitations for yourself when really there are no limits, so to speak. Because say you get to that number on the scale, then what? It's like, well, it's a lifestyle. Like, being healthy is a lifestyle that needs to carry with you. It's going to carry with you through life. It's habits for life. Same thing at work. You didn't win your job just because you executed one project. Like, you need to continue. You need to find the next problem, solve the next issue. You ran one race. Okay, why not try to get faster than that race? Like, you can't just stop when you set some of those goals. When you like set goals, it's about keeping that momentum rolling. So it's like, yes, celebrate, win, but then the next day, go right back into what you're doing, start building towards the next thing.
That is so not just limited to, like you said, not just limited to fitness, because the ideal people I work with are the ones who just accomplished something and now are just stuck. They don't, we get these ideas of success in our head, and we think that success is linear, and then we hit that success and then we don't know what to do with it. And so it's about creating those daily habits that created the successful environment. And like you said, converting that to a lifestyle, because I have races on the calendar, but I don't actually have any goal races on the calendar right now. So I'm not training for a specific time or anything. It's part of my lifestyle. And with that whole marathon blues thing, that's why I need races on the calendar. I feel like I need things in front of me to train for. It does keep me accountable. It keeps me focused and moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, man, if you're I know Pedro's up there. He's a broker by trade. You're not dealing with, you can't just be dealing with one load at a time. You get one load out the door.
All right, we moved the load. Let's take off now. Day's over.
Hey,
Day's over. Job's done. No, you're on to the next. You're making other calls. You got 10 other different things. Same thing if you own a small carrier. I mean, when I had my own truck, like, I remember how relaxed and non-anxious my mind got when I one time had like my next 3 loads booked in front of me, so I just didn't have to keep hawking boards or making phone calls. Let's see. He's asking how many pounds I'm carrying this morning. Oh, this is a 20 pounder that I walk around with, Trey, that I've got rolling. I know I want to invest. I want to start adding a backpack to it with some weights, but I want it to be I need a good backpack, because like that, yeah, I need to hit up Go Ruck for something that's good. That's not going to, like, because if you just get a JanSport and you throw some dumbbells in it, you're not.
Dude, I'll be honest.
I
I am absolutely going to promo them because I love my Go Ruck.
I was just about to say,
With that,
Lombard, like,
that-
I know there is a military surplus store somewhere down there. You can go get you a ruck, man.
I know. I need one of those. I would love one of those Alice packs, one of those like green ones.
I still have mine. Yeah, I still have mine.
Yeah, those things are freaking money in the bank.
Oh yeah. I actually kind of want to switch it up a little bit here. You are talking about routines and stuff like that. Especially in times like this, the holiday. Lombard, you were talking about, how sometimes people would just see this, I'll wait till after the holiday versus pushing through it. Here's something else I want to talk about though. What about people, because here's my struggle, is people with an attachment to food, whether it be extremely unhealthy or unhealthy. We're talking about the 2 days, Thanksgiving and Christmas, where probably the best food you'll eat the entire year are put on the table. Do you guys have any tips or tricks for people or advice who wait for that, look at it like, oh, look at this scrumptious buffet of 8,000 calories that I really want to consume, but I know that I can't.
I don't know if I have advice because I would say eat the food. We're talking about 2 days a year, man. If the other 300 and however many days there are of the year, 363 are sticking in that lifestyle. The fact that I overindulged on 2 meals, and I'm just speaking for myself, I'm not sweating that. It's not going to mess with my health. It's not going to mess with my blood sugars that much. And it's nothing that I can't just start moving forward on the next day. That said, you do got to worry about changing that relationship with food. I look at food like fuel now. And there was a time though when I was 240 pounds and I was losing weight, where I had to track every calorie. And I still track every calorie, by the way, but it's to make sure I'm getting enough of the right stuff. So back then it would have been like, oh my God, I tracked my calories on Thanksgiving and I'm going to be so over and blah, blah, blah. But eventually it's more like, hey, what do I eat that makes me feel better? What do I eat that actually just gives me more energy, more focus? Like, what do I actually enjoy eating? Not just the 30 seconds of like tasting the sugar. That's my 2 cents.
No, I'm with you. Having that, it's having that cognitive ability to where so even somebody with like, that's the thing, food, no matter how people want to chop it up, just like alcohol, just like certain drugs, just like other habits, food can be an addiction. It's not out of the question to say that. And I want to give Trey's comment some love. He said the problem for us overeaters is not Thanksgiving; it's the other 364 days of the year. Yeah. Our approach to food as comfort rather than fuel. Yes, and that's the thing. It's food has become, it's a replace. It's an idea for comfort. I've read Michael Easter's The Comfort Crisis. We've been. We live in a time period. Humans in general are always seeking calories. Like no matter how you chop it up, like we're always going to seek it. That's what we are. We're animals, and now we live in a time period where it's never been easier to find calories, and so it's very easy to get that comfort. So whenever we hit times of stress or anxiety or anything, it's easy to find what is going to make us feel better, which has been for thousands of years food. But recognizing that is like probably the first step. Recognizing, okay, this is why I'm eating, and then you have to have the conversation with yourself of kind of like Nick said, is this really going to serve me? Because at least I know now, like where I've done it, I've had some of the pastries or whatever. When I overindulge, there's almost this immediate sense of, man, I shouldn't have done that. And it's like, and you just learn from it. You don't beat yourself up over it. You don't get self-defeating. You don't be like, oh, well, I guess that's it. I enjoyed myself. I felt like crap. Now I regret it. I guess I'm done living healthy ever again. It's like, you can't imagine having that conversation. But yeah, to really agree with Trey, yeah, it's not about Thanksgiving or Christmas. It's about the other days of the year. So like when it comes to these holidays, they're just meant to be enjoyed. Like, all that food's in front of you, good. Enjoy it, have fun with your family that you don't see all the time. But come the next morning, just wake up and get outside, get some movement in, drink some water. Don't just let it snowball. And it's just about, and what you can do with that, lean on community. I think that doesn't go talked about enough. You've got a network, you've got a community, you have resources available for this, whether it be via the internet or just people like myself or Nick. You lean on your community during those times, oh man, what would you do if you're me? And then once you talk to somebody, you're going to change your mind. That's what's almost like when you ask, your wife, family, significant other, hey, do you think I should do this? Or do you think I should apply for this job? You get that outside validation. Go seek, go get the answers that you might not want to hear, but you need to hear. And I
And
think
here's another thought too: is a plan. Plan. If you're worried about what you're going to eat on Friday? Today's Tuesday. What are you going to eat on Friday? Go buy it. Go put it in the fridge. Go get it ready. Tell you what, if you want to keep eating turkey, I'm moving to turkey gobbler sandwiches, but by the end of the week or within a couple of days, it'll be cut up turkey salad. So what are you going to eat the next day? Just plan it. Make sure you have it.
A plan is the winning move. I mean, that comes straight. I mean, that's straight out of the military, Pedro. And anybody listening, you got a plan. What's the phrase I've been hearing around like that? If you don't plan ahead, then plan to fail.
Fail to plan, plan to fail. Yeah.
Exactly. Like making that plan, having it in front of you, essentially gaslighting yourself. When I'm not gonna lie, I hate saying it, but it kind of works. But I'll tell you what, that's what helped me over the road is when I grocery shopped. So if I already had a week's worth of food, so whereas like Thanksgiving this week, you probably still have all your food for the week. Yeah, map out what your Friday already looks like on Tuesday. So that way when Friday comes, you're not like, I don't have anything prepared. I don't want to cook. I'm feeling a little lazy. I've got to do stuff. I got Black Friday shopping. But if you take Tuesday night and you get your Friday planned out in front of you, food wise, then once Friday comes, it's right there in front of you. Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. I already logged it. I already got it set aside. It's in my containers. That's what I'm eating Friday. And it kind of eases your mind up for approaching those situations.
And I got one thing for those who are, because we hadn't brought this one up yet, but I'll just say this. They might say it, but nobody else gives a shit if you're drinking. As a matter of fact, nobody will complain if you don't. So if there's somebody who's like, if you're somebody who's concerned about that, I have to drink during the holiday. No, you do not. No, you do not. That's only a decision that you have to make. And if it's not a thing for you, well, have at it.
Yeah, I did. Alcohol is a big one too. Because it's I haven't drank since March. And it's not because of any sort of, problems or anything. It's more so voluntary. I did 75 hard and then I just kept rolling. And then I had these races and my Saturdays were spent on the bike. So it's like even days I could drink, I had commitments early in the morning. But when it comes to holidays, and yeah, if you're hanging around people who are uncomfortable that you're not drinking, it's about reassessing.
That's a them problem.
Yeah, it's a them problem more so than anything. But again, if you're just when it comes to consuming alcohol, I'm not anti-alcohol by any stretch of the means. People have been enjoying it since the freaking Egyptians. Enjoy it, but just like food, just don't overindulge. Be smart, 1-to-1 drink to water ratio. Because and when you do that, if you drink one beer or one cocktail, or you have one bourbon and then you have water, you're gonna automatically drink less alcohol with it if you're not just going back to back. If you mix in those,
hydrated, which you'll thank yourself for the next day.
yeah, you'll definitely be thanking yourself when you mix in the water in between, or you mix in an NA in between. Like say you have a regular beer, non-alcoholic beer. When you mix that in, you're cutting your drinking in half, while at the same time you're making yourself feel a little bit more full. And again, you these holidays are meant to be enjoyed, and enjoying them is like being present for with your family, for your family, is a lot more important than what they're going to prefer you being present rather than prefer you blacking out.
Absolutely. Oh, well, there's that tendonitis again. Damn it. That's going to be a minute till this thing gets back on course. So it's a good thing I have a Spartan race in 2 weeks.
You got some tendonitis in the elbow. You got some tennis elbow.
Golfer's elbow, actually. How come all the really painful stuff has the dumbest names?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Like, why can't it be like horrific injury to the elbow where I feel manly about talking about it, not golfer's elbow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of medical terms that are like kind of badass, because like people are gonna. But what's crazy is in the criminal world, like there's two crimes. Like it's called murder and manslaughter, and murder is a worse charge. Like it's a worse charge to get, but manslaughter is the most like brutal name for a crime, but it's a less tiered offense in the legal system, which I think is crazy. Like manslaughter, like it's like a 2 1 word combo, as opposed to like murder. It's like I don't even know the root like where the definition of murder came from, but it's like, I'm like, it's almost cool to say like I murdered that test. Like you're not going to be like, I manslaughtered that thing. Like it's a brutal term, to use. I'm trying to think of any like injuries that are also like, golfer's elbow is like tennis elbow. I think it's the same thing.
It's just the opposite corner. It's the opposite side of the elbow.
Yeah. Why isn't it hockey elbow? Like your arms feels completely blown out.
All right. Well, I'm struggling with some manslaughter elbow that I've had for about a month now.
Yeah, you see, manslaughter elbow works, or even dual. Like since it's clearly named after a sport, like dueling elbow,
dueling elbow. I like that, Lombard. Yeah, dueler's elbow.
Yeah, like you got like you and your friend were dueling, whether it was a sword fight or a gun, and you get hit in the arm. Like dueler's elbow.
Yeah, call it UFC elbow or something like that. Fought to the death elbow. There you go.
Yeah, even just fighter's elbow. Like that makes it boxer's elbow. Like, boxing is an old sport. Yeah, boxer's elbow, whatever it is.
Nice, I like it. Well, that's what's going on there, and it hurts like hell. So
that's good. You get, see, Scott agrees. Hockey elbow sounds a little bit harder. But man, I'm not gonna lie, I like the chilly temps. I'd say for anybody out there, that was a big thing I pressed on. Like, don't let weather becomes a factor too in getting outside. But just like anything else, just like if it's summertime, get some warming layers now. Just because the sun's out a little bit less, people shouldn't discount getting outside when it's a little bit cooler. It's good for you. It's good for the blood. So for anybody out there who lives in tough parts of the country, be safe, be smart. But I love this crisp air that I'm feeling right now. And I know what it's doing for my body, especially just waking up first thing. And this is the first thing I'm doing. So don't let the cold be a deterrent.
I can't even feel my legs anymore, bro. I so did not look at the weather last night when I set out my clothes, and so I'm wearing like the thinnest pair of basketball shorts probably ever produced.
Oh yeah, I got shorts on too. I'm shorts all year round, but yeah, yesterday's weather in Central Texas was beautiful. It was like, it was like a fall day. It was absolutely perfect, immaculate weather. But yeah, now there's some chill coming.
Yeah, I can't really complain about the 50-degree weather here in Florida. Like this is the time of year to live here for. Come on.
Yeah, that's when Floridians actually live in Florida. That's when they're finally home.
Hey, buddy. And now here's Wolfie joining us. Hey, hi. What's up?
Oh, Wolfie. Pedro, you got any dogs?
No, bro, I don't. We had a Rottweiler, but we put her down, and I just haven't got another dog yet. But we got 2 little cats, and they're fucking assholes.
Hey, buddy. I know. All right.
Let's go. We got Samantha tapping in the chat. What's up, dude? She says my workouts move indoors in Kansas winters. Yeah, no, that nothing wrong with that. Like I work at an indoor gym, so it's like definitely don't do anything stupid. Like there's no point in. Yeah, there's like, especially I was just talking to an Army vet friend about this, Because I was talking about how during one of my marathons, I changed my socks at like the halfway point because it was raining. And they like people always think, "Oh, you did that." That's it's when it comes to doing like being hard, like Goggins type stuff. It's like you do that when it actually counts, when it actually matters. But to just like on purpose, like me keeping those wet socks on and just ripping through blisters when you don't have to doesn't
There's
serve a purpose.
something toughness
Bro,
is like
hey,
silliness.
they don't preach that one rule in the army for survival. You ask your drill sergeant, how do I survive? Drink water, change your socks, take ibuprofen. That's it.
That's it. Those are the do-all cure-alls of life.
They are, bro. I still say that shit to my kids when they're complaining. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Drink water, change your socks, private.
But it's the truth, though. I mean, it's a game changer. It's a move of muscle, change the thought. Like you do those three things, you probably end up turning your day around. But can't lie, I've spent some good time in Kansas, though, like driving this time of year. And I mean, I'd still get my walk in. Like that's the thing where I might not break out any. I might not break out any the crazy kettlebells, but I'll still get a good amount of steps in, get that movement on purpose. But if you have the opportunity to do it inside, then go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I'm the opposite only because where I live. So I don't care if I got to travel to Kansas on the coldest, most miserable day of the year. I'm going for a run outdoors. It may not be a long one, but I'm going to take advantage of getting to run in a different scenario. And to your point of, I'm going to run into the suffering a little bit, but I'm not going to go hike 20 miles out in that day either.
There's definitely like doing intentionally hard things is has its payoff, has its rule because it's training for life. Like I'm not like once again, I'm not saying do anything stupid. You don't need to go out in any hurricanes, tornadoes, but like when you intentionally put yourself into inconvenient scenarios, it translates right to life. Like it happens at your job, it happens with stuff within your family. It happens. Last Monday I was at a funeral, and the family affected have been so strong in their convictions and like in their faith, and they've been so good like in life where it's just things hurt a little bit less. Like when the other inconveniences that you can't stop eventually start entering the mold. When you have put yourself purposely through doing some more difficult stuff, it better equips you for taking them on.
I'll tell you, that was the challenge of World's Toughest Mudder. 24 hours. The decision to go back out every time, especially after you get the cold water, then you're hot again, and you're shaking, your blood sugar's low, the murder elbow hurts, like all those things are going on. And, you're in the pit, and you have a decision to make that you could stay right there. But even on my last lap, which I didn't know was going to be my last lap, but I was like, I have to go take this lap just so I know that I can.
Exactly. Now you're better, and you've taught your brain that muscle memory in your brain is going to translate right over to anything that's going to stand in your way off the obstacle course.
Exactly. I say it all the time. It isn't a hobby; it's a lifestyle, and it's just one that prepares me for life. But the hardest thing I do every day is get up in the morning to work out. It's literally the hardest thing I have to do every day. Everything else is infinitely easier.
Yeah,
Hey, sorry, Lombard. I gotta jump off here. I would stay on, but my family's asleep and I'm really loud. So I appreciate it. Hey, I'm gonna go here and knock out these stretches. Dude, I'll catch you guys next Tuesday. Thanks so much for the invite, Trey.
Oh yeah, absolutely, Pedro. Be safe out there. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Hey, you too, brother. And I'll catch you in Slack. Nick, I'll talk to you later. If I don't talk to you though, you have a happy Thanksgiving too.
You as well, brother.
Later, gents.
All right. Yeah. No. I think that's a good place to stick it. Kind of some last remaining thoughts. Just circling back to what we said at the top of the show. People should enjoy holidays, but don't let the holiday be an excuse to stop you from maybe attacking some goals. 2025 is already gearing up for so many fun things. If you're somebody out there who get something on the calendar. Don't wait to start. It's Tuesday. Take the 30 minutes, go for a walk, do it. Enjoy the holidays. But if people are looking to plan or make a plan, reach out to me. Let's figure out what that looks like. What does winning look like for you? There's still over 30, instead of saying I'll wait till after the holidays, there's over 30 days left of the year. Holidays make up, if you count New Year's Eve, that's 3 days. Imagine, and say give another for recovery. If you show up 25 out of the next 30 days, how does that set you up, going into next year?
Since we got enough logistics brokers, salespeople generally on this call, this applies for business too. Don't fall prey to the excuse. Business is there, goals are there. Let's get after it.
Yes, sir. Hey, Nick and everybody out there, have a great Thanksgiving. I can't wait to see everybody back next week. It'll be December. Remember December, 12th month of the year. We're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this one strong.
See you on the other side.
Peace out, everybody. Travel safe. Be safe. I'm out.